the way that you walk, all the way that you walk.
But it reveals interesting things about female sexuality, doesn't it?
In what sense?
What we're here to talk about today.
We are.
Which is, well, I mean, the fact, I suppose, there is this, what would be called the blue pill way of thinking about women as being these very angelic, vaginal creatures who don't like sex and they just want to float on clouds all day and everything. And of course, I mean, you know, I'm sure people watching this product don't think that, because a lot of people have been educated more now due to the internet and the sort of men's online content. But nevertheless,
there is a massive desire, isn't there, to want to almost see them as, and this actually damages the ability to approach, because it's almost like you feel you're taking something from them before you fully accept that it takes two to tango, and actually women are craving sex with guys that turn them on, right?
Absolutely. I mean, women are arguably more sexual than men. I mean, probably not more sexual. We were talking about this actually the other day on a podcast I was doing with Sterling Cooper, I think, and some other people, and we were saying it's not like they're necessarily more sexual in the sense that they want more sex, because guys have obviously higher testosterone, so they are very driven by having lots and lots of sex, and women not necessarily, but women are probably more perverted than men.
I think so, and there's a number of, well, 50 Shades of Grey doesn't really touch the sides, does it? But it's showcased in the mainstream, and a lot of guys woke up and were like, fuck, you know, is it the best-selling kind of
book ever? Yeah,
book ever, and it's basically softcore kind of porn.
Yeah, but it's also this woman who's being sort of, you know, kind of degraded. Really, I mean, okay, he's a very handsome billionaire, whatever, with a private jet, but nevertheless, it's a sort of BDSM kind of story, isn't it? You've got this guy who he's spanking her and everything, and I mean, it should have been. I don't know if it was such an eye opener for the average guy in the street, but I think for people who think about this area, it was just kind of proof that, look, I mean, this book has become the most popular thing ever, and clearly that reflects what women are interested in.
There's a reason for that. It's women buying it, it's not men. And then but the baseline story to that, or what it was based on, the story of O, which is a more hardcore French version from the 1950s. I mean, that was, you know, that again, that goes kind of a bit more perverted, but again, back then, all the sales were women buying the books, right? So they're obviously getting off on this. You've got a couple of others that are pretty useful as well. A Billion Wicked Thoughts, which is a big data study of the porn industry. You know, anonymous. What people search for, men and women. Literally a billion searches held by the porn companies. They bought the researchers bought the data, and the data doesn't lie. So you see what women search for, you see what men search for. And My Secret Garden, of course, the famous one by Nancy Friday. Some very interesting stories.
yeah, kind of hair-raising stuff in there for sure. But yeah, I mean, so women have this very sexual side. They have a lot of fantasy, I think, in the sense that guys, I don't think guys really fantasize that much. I mean, if a guy's fantasy is, I want to meet a hot blonde girl and she gives me a blowjob and then I eat a burger and fall asleep. But it's kind of that level, isn't it?
That.
Whereas women, it's all this very elaborate, very complicated, like, oh, and he's going to blindfold me and we'll be in this cottage in the middle of the woods, and then I'll be wearing a red dress and he's going to come in and, you know, and then
it's very visceral. It's very visceral. It's very visual. It's very kind of role playish.
Yes,
it's painting that emotional picture.
Yeah, exactly. And I maybe just speaking for myself here, but I don't know that guys are really that into that. I don't think the complexity. I think guys will play along with it because they want to get laid at the end of it. But,
and also there is something quite. We were talking about this in a different context, but we were kind of talking about that kind of cool image of you know, we fly off to Russia and we meet we have a few flakes and we manage to get a girl out on a date, and it's like, will it happen, won't it happen? And it's almost that Robert Greene art of seduction side of it, isn't it? And I think it is fun for a guy to do that, but do we have that greater kind of interest in it as a woman does? No, I don't think
I think we would prefer it if it was just straightforward. Or maybe we wouldn't, actually.
I think part of the investment, because we've talked about this in different contexts, but, you know, it's not just, we always say to guys, right, try and take home on the first date.
Yeah.
But what actually happens if you do that is you really, once you have sex with a girl, 90% of the time, I lose interest basically. Whereas if that seduction dance has gone on maybe 2 or 3 dates, but you haven't actually sealed the deal, you're naturally more invested.
Yes.
So there's more of a build up to it, and whether or not the sex is actually better, the anticipation is essentially what women are.
Yeah.
It's that flirty anticipation, will it happen, won't it happen, which really seduces someone.
Yes. Yes.
Now, does it impact men the same way? I'm not sure, but I think we are definitely more invested if there's a kind of a storyline to it and this kind of like almost seduction.
Yeah. So it makes sense then actually for women to hold out a bit, which always used to be the thing, didn't it? It always
you'd
used
have to court them. It's that kind of Casanova-esque thing of courting them. And, I mean, it's.
And you still sometimes get that to an extent, but obviously in the this hypersexualized culture, it's a lot more.
There's a lot more instant gratification.
Yeah.
By the way, quick one: you can now join our completely free day game and cold approach community, where you can ask questions to myself or Les or the other coaches. You can meet wings from all around the world. You get free breakdowns of loads and loads of different places for cold approach. You get to meet like-minded men who are all traveling the world, having fun, having an adventure. You see all of the old YouTube videos as well, all of the 1,000+ old YouTube videos that got taken down. They're all uploaded to this portal, and you can suggest new content you want to see. Get all of this completely for free. Link will be in the description below the video, and we'll see you there.